Hello, good morning on Thursday. Imagine you wear a tea bag, okay, and you got placed in like the perfectly warm cup of tea. Imagine how nice that would feel, like the warm water seeping into your, I guess, pores and like, we're back, but I could feel the ground underneath my feet. And I think, can you see the lack of tread over here and over there? And if you put it on its side, you can't see any black there. But if you turn it over, you can see black. So you can see where I've basically shaved off all of that black. I think it's time for a new pair of running shoes. Like, that's great, we love running shoes, but they're not cheap. So a proper good morning. Today we put chocolate in our oats. I've already started eating it because I wanted to taste if it was nice. And it is nice. But I want to talk about the algorithms. I know yesterday we were talking, or was it the day before, we were talking about consent. And what has stayed with me, obviously, because I sit on my apps, is the consent that I give to these apps to effectively change my mood without me actively knowing. So I said this morning over breakfast, we're going to look at algorithms. Now, there's a particular algorithm that I would, oh my gosh, this duck almost came at me. Look at this. Look at him, he was flying straight at me. Hello, baby. Anyway, back to my discussion here. So I think what is a very interesting algorithm to potentially look at is the TikTok algorithm. And it's one of the reasons as to why is the United States, why were there issues around the United States and this algorithm, and why was Donald Trump so scared? And there's a legitimate reason behind this. And today I'm going to argue that TikTok knows my emotional state, maybe even before I do. And it is quite genius technology, but also very scary in terms of, just using it. Oh my gosh, can I just show you this baby duck? Hello, babies. Anyway, we'll be discussing that as the day goes on. So, yeah. Well, seeing as we're walking to work, I thought I'd discuss my first bit of evidence. So in philosophy we would say premise one, and that is that TikTok detects emotional states through micro behaviors. So in addition to what you like and what you share with everybody else, it actually detects, or it monitors how long you stay on a particular video. That little hesitation where you almost scroll up and you half scroll up, whatever, they are counting those every microseconds that exist there. And with this, oh, there's another duck. This guy is pretty, if you want to see him, he looks different. Hello. 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 Shame, I think I scared him. But those micro behaviors that you're picking up there, those things are used in the background of the algorithm. And obviously TikTok knows exactly what video you're watching. It knows other type of people that watch that video. It knows all the text on the screen. It knows everything that's going on in that video. AI is crazy. Like, even me uploading this video to YouTube, it knows exactly what I'm talking about, and it knows exactly what information I'm saying and what I'm talking about and what I'm even insinuating to a certain degree through the predictive behaviors, and then serves it to people that potentially, I don't know, like it, engage it, or whatever, or find this interesting. So yeah, those little micro behaviors. There was a whole Wall Street Journal experiment done, I'll link it down below, where they created fake users, and those fake users, they didn't do anything, they didn't like, they didn't share, they didn't do this. All they did was they give them personas, and then they watched particular videos and paused on videos and scrolled up based on those personas, and you landed up in these different categories that the algorithm served you. And I think this is not new news to any of you people here. I think you intuitively know exactly what I'm talking about when it kind of knows exactly the content that you like or you're feeling. Okay, so it's editing Bianca over here. Previous Bianca did not explicitly explain what a micro behavior is,
And to summarize, a microbehavior is how long you watch a particular video for, how long it takes you to scroll up, how quickly you scroll up, how quickly you go back, do you pause and rewind, do you watch it again? That's all I'm talking about when I say microbehaviors. It's just how you interact with that. It's not sharing, it's not commenting, it's not that kind of stuff. It's just tracking what you do during that.
Okay, so our next point is that people are often not aware of their own emotional states. This emotional awareness is actually quite delayed. You can feel your emotions, but you don't actively know how to put a name on it. So you may feel sad, but sometimes you find it difficult to put a label on, or it takes a few days or a few hours, and that's what TikTok feeds on, is you feel it, but you don't express it. This doesn't mean that it's not for everyone. Some people know exactly their emotions, but most people don't actually know how to clearly define them because they're a bit deranged. So while it's still summer, I had a little bit of a moment yesterday that winter's almost coming. So I thought I'd do this scene outside by a tree, which is quite a big stump, I would say. But the next premise is that TikTok reinforces inferred emotional states. So once it picks up that you have a particular emotional state, say sadness or happiness or heartbreak or something like that, it actually triggers a loop in which it does every 23rd video or whatever is that type of video, and then you start reacting to it more. It also reads the user, the different users, like, oh, this person usually posts sad content, so you like the user, and it gets more and more information to it, but it gets stuck in this loop, and this loop is the important part of this negative reinforcement that actually happens. Once it recognizes, it hones down on it, and that's where you get these I'll see if I can put a little bit of a diagram here, but you stuck down this niche thing where it kind of understands exactly who you are. Bianca likes dogs, this, but she's also going through this type of emotional thing today, therefore show her this. Or in general, this is her pattern. I wouldn't even be surprised if they factor in different moods based upon hormones of women, done from average profiles of all of this kind of stuff. So yeah, it's actually crazy how much they can infer, because these algorithms, with more and more data, they just expand, and they're able to do so much, and it's actually so cool. The engineer in me is this is so cool, but it's very, very scary when I become the object of study. And yeah, how do you put it, the object of training almost, to better understand everybody else. I'm also an object in that training loop, and those negative reinforcement cycles are scary. So our fourth and final premise is that the app creates this feedback loop that can manipulate how we feel. By constantly feeding this emotionally charged content based upon this past behavior that it's learned, it can intensify or prolong the feelings that you're actually feeling. It's home time now. Oh, sorry about the lighting, but I'm walking home with this MacBook open because I'm actually running a model. As you can see here, it's running, and I can't close it because then I'm going to lose all the progress, and it's quite a big model. So yeah, I have to walk with it and go to the shops with it, but it's okay, it's worth it. But yeah, home time, and I guess we'll have a little bit more of a discussion about the algorithms. Probably while I sit and play with some of the algorithms later. But yeah, it's this lady, she's actually a lady that I was talking about, the sociologist. She basically says that if you're on a diet, you'll watch diet culture things, and it will almost perpetuate, to a certain degree, eating disorders because of how much it actually reinforces this stuff. And I've seen it personally. I don't know if this is a sign, but there's ADHD. You get locked in that, and you're stuck in that cycle of your algorithms. So yeah, it perpetuates that emotional feeling. And usually, normally in society, maybe you tell a friend or whatever, but you don't talk about it or see it as often. Every time you go to bed at night, you don't actually talk and see and reinforce these ideas and put more connections together in your life. So it does become quite a big part of your life, or even just in your subconscious thinking. Let's go get some breadcrumbs. We're still here with our laptop, but keen for what we need. And because I walked home, I get to reward myself. It's actually an alcohol-free beer. I kind of enjoy this. People be like, why would you enjoy eating your calories, liquid calories, for no benefit? I don't know, it's a nice hot day. I don't feel like drinking alcohol. And this is great. And I have to commend Europe. Europe has done a really, really good job of promoting the non-alcoholic beers. South Africa, you can't do that at all. But this, it's kind of okay to go out at a social event and drink a non-alcoholic beer. Even though I do like alcoholic beers, today I just feel like a non-alcoholic one. And also, the difference between Netherlands and South Africa, walking home with an expensive MacBook, I would have got robbed before I even made it home. And yeah, no one even bothered me. So cheers. If you like this content actually, and you wanna have a beer with me, well, you can't actually physically have a beer with me, but it feels like we're having a beer every day, subscribe. Dinner time, I made zucchini chips baked with the crumbs that you saw, and then a burger patty. So, as I was describing earlier, I think we need to get back to our fourth premise, which is that TikTok is creating or enforcing this feedback loop. There was also a document released by, BrightDance, which is the holding company of TikTok, and they're responsible for these algorithms. And they actually, in the leaked document, effectively what they were saying, or what it said, or what it alluded to, was the fact that TikTok prioritizes, and it makes sense, Google does it with YouTube, all of this kind of stuff. They prioritize content and they show people content that's going to keep them on the app. And that is an obvious thing, because then you keep the retention. It's one of the reasons why, again, YouTube, they don't like content that takes you away from the app. So if you link to your merch or you link to your whatever, some of these vloggers and stuff do, TikTok, Google on like WhatsApp, what am I saying? It's been a long day, I'm so sorry. YouTube and Google and TikTok, that's why TikTok Shop exists. You just buy all the stuff inside the app. You don't actually leave, because if you leave, you might not come back. But if you stay, they hold you. They keep you, and then you will probably watch more and more content and consume more ads and maybe even buy more stuff. And that's exactly what this BrightDance leaked paper basically said, that it will prioritize keeping you on the app versus content that is potentially good or uplifting or that's not harmful for the users. TikTok is not just, to kind of summarize everything and go back to our initial claim, is that TikTok isn't just mirroring how I feel. It's shaping quietly, invisibly, and without asking how I feel. It grabs onto something small and exaggerates it. And one can liken it to potentially having a friend that likes drama. They want to keep reinforcing, be like, oh no, you should do this, you should say this, whatever, and they keep this tension alive. Versus another friend, which is not the algorithm, which will be like, okay, this happened, let's move on, let's go, let's try something else, let's get better, per se. TikTok wants to keep you there. And it scares me, because I've personally fallen into that, and I would like not to fall into these holes. The problem is, it feels good. When you're sad and you're watching these sad videos, it feels good, and they tap into that. So be careful that you're not feeling sad for longer than you should be feeling sad.
So I'm about to shower, but you can see the laptop is still on, still running the model. It's only at 9%. So we'll check in tomorrow morning and see what we're sitting at.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Eyes are up here, buddy. Good evening. Tonight's thought experiment is called The Stranger Who Knows Your Mood. Imagine you ride the same bus every day. You never speak to anyone, you keep your headphones in. One day, a stranger sits down beside you and hands you a book, a breakup novel. The next day, they hand you another, this time about loneliness.
The day after that, a pamphlet on therapy? You've never told them anything. You've never cried, never spoken, never even made eye contact. But somehow, they always know what to give you. Now you ask yourself, would you trust that stranger? And more importantly, why are you trusting the app that does the same thing? Kinda. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow. It's Friday. Should be a fun one.